If you're not being included as much as you want to be, and maybe it's even from people that you feel closest to, like your really good friends, then today's video is for you. All right, so here's today's journal. It says, all my friends went out last night, all of them. Every single one I consider my inner circle, and I wasn't invited. I saw the pictures on Instagram this morning, laughing, dinner, dessert, the whole thing. It looked like it was planned, like not a spontaneous meetup. No one even mentioned it to me. I feel humiliated, like the last kid picked for the team, only this time I didn't even know we were playing a game. I want to believe that it was a mistake. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it really feels like I'm being slowly phased out. And I don't even know why. Okay, now here is my response using the Fortitude Framework. That always like really gets to me when, yeah, people aren't included. And so that really does just break my heart. And I know that is such a punch to the gut when you're like, these are my people. Like, I know, love, trust them. Like, they are my people. And then when you feel like when you're not invited and you're like, wait, what is going on? Like, that never feels good. So I'm so sorry about that. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're going to apply the Fortitude Framework. So obviously, you can totally mourn that you missed out on all that stuff. That's reality, right? So the first part of the framework is you figure out what is the unbiased reality. You missed out on all that stuff that happened last night. So mourn it, grieve it, be so sad. Like, oh, this is such a bummer. Like, I'm so sad that I missed out on these memories with my friends. And if you need to cry about it, cry about it. So that's like step one. Then, if you're having any thoughts about anything about what this means for the future, that's when you run to the framework because it's going to be so easy in situations like this for our mind to go to those places of, wow, they don't actually love me. They don't actually care me. They're not going to be my friends anymore. They don't want to be my friend. And again, we start having all these thoughts that are not about what happened. It's like all these other, we're attaching meanings and we're like planning the future. And that is when it's not healthy. That's when we have to run to the framework. Siren in your brain. Wee, 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 run to the framework. So then the rest of the framework would be like, okay, let me have hopeful curiosity. There's parts of this story, this puzzle, this picture that I do not have right now. And it's so in week 5, you're gonna go through gift others. And in gift others, it talks about how you want to always, anytime someone is doing any kind of behavior, a behavior is a result of an inner thought, feeling, need, fear. It like a behavior is just a result of those things. So anytime that you want to talk to somebody or you need to approach or have a conversation, you never want to just be talking about whatever happened, like the actual actions that took place, because it will always lead to just making the conflict worse. So, what we want to do is we want to have hopeful curiosity and be like, okay, what could really be going on right now? Is there maybe something that I said? Is there something that I did, and actually doing that not to like hurt yourself or like be down on yourself, but actually just having hopeful curiosity. Like, because I think that if there was something that you actually said or did or whatever, like, wouldn't it feel good to like have that resolved? Because the whole point of the Fortitude Framework is we want to leave you from the like we want at like once you work through this situation with the Fortitude Framework, we want you to be happier than you did before. And so with friendships, it's actually these very situations that can lead to greater happiness. I'm like a huge believer, you're going to hear this over and over and over and over again, that these hardships that we go through our lives, whether it's with friends, family, like workplace, whatever, I don't really care what it is, they actually hold the opportunities for greater happiness, closer friendships. And so we want to keep that in mind. If it's something that you need to resolve, or because this could probably go one of two ways. So if you were to have a conversation with them and you were to set it up, gift, shift, lift. Again, you don't want to automatically message them and be like, wow, thanks for the invite. You guys didn't invite me. Because now you're just talking about the behavior, which you can, like, I'm not saying that you can't express how that made you feel, but that's more of a shift thing, and you have to do gift first. So another thing I want you to highlight to know if we haven't talked about this yet is that the Fortitude Framework, it's not only a framework that you can like put in any order, there is a reason for the order of the framework, and you always go in order from internal honesty to gift to shift to lift. You can't just go straight to shift and just being like, you guys need to invite me. You guys are such jerks. Like that is a shifting. That's not, we're not ready for that. So first we want to have helpful curiosity. And we want to be like, okay, maybe there are reasons, maybe there's things I don't know. Maybe it could be good things, like they just thought I was busy, or maybe I did something to offend one of them. And if so, I shouldn't be mad at them. I should just be like, as a good friend, like I should be trying to figure out, like, is there something that I don't know? Like, what are all the pieces of the puzzle that I don't have yet? That's what we want to do for helpful curiosity. And so then I would, and then like shift is like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. So I should probably have a conversation with them, lift, so that I can actually really know what's going on and resolve this. Now let's actually talk about having that conversation, preparing for that conversation. And you set up the conversation the same way. You set it up with gift, shift, lift the whole time. And so I would message him, call him, go over, ask him if you can talk to him, however, whatever you think is best. I do think sometimes in situations like this, um, even like sending a polo, I think is really good. Just because it gives people time to respond. But the problem with the message is they can't see your face, they can't hear your voice and how you're saying things. So something that I actually really love is like I really think that polos are awesome. Sometimes in person is good because you get the voice and like the how they're saying it. But I think that sometimes it's actually easier for people to be in their 20% because they don't like they feel afraid because they don't feel like they have time to think and then respond. And so sometimes people can like go into an in-person conversation already in their 20%. If you're like, hey, can you talk? Then their 20% brain is, oh, it's probably something bad. They're probably going to yell at me. And so they already come in on their guard. And so sometimes, honestly, like with situations like this, I actually really love just sending a polo. So you still get all the benefits of it as if it were in person where they see your face, your voice, but it's not, it's something they can like listen at their own pace, they can really think about, and then they can respond. So anyway, just keep that in mind. As far as like the conversation, like I would first just like set up the conversation, gift, shift, left. You can start with, hey, I noticed like this morning, like randomly, that I saw that you guys had like all gone out. It looked like super fun. I'm so happy that you guys had so much fun. And my like I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I was like, that's so weird. Like I'm friends with every single person's picture. Like I'm so like that's so weird that I didn't get an invite. And I know that we are all friends, and so it made me think like maybe there was something I did, maybe there's something I said. Like I just want to like make sure like I'm good with everybody because um like yeah, it just like felt weird because I know that you guys love me and I love you, and so I just kind of wanted to know. So again, that's gift because you're not going into attack, you're not going to shift. You're not like you need to invite me, like you're having just that hopeful curiosity. And when I and if you listened, it actually sounded hopeful. It sounded like I know that you love me and I love you, and I know that we like all love each other. We're all friends. And so it just like felt like a little bit weird. So I just wanted to like check in and figure out like did like do I know everything that's going on? Like did I say something? Did I do something? Again, do you kind of hear how even that feels hopeful and curious? Hopeful, curious, hopeful curiosity. Because then it gives them a chance that one, they don't feel attacked. They won't go down to their 20%, which again, you'll learn more, gift others. We like really dive into all of this, but it's still the same stuff. It's still hopeful curiosity. It's still gift. And then just give them a chance to respond. And maybe it's something really, maybe it's something like you did say something, in which case, be like, I had no idea. Like, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to like make that right and say, I'm so sorry. Like that is so like not what my values are, not like what I actually, whatever. And then in that time, that's when you can say, I'm so thankful you said something. I really wish you would have told me this earlier. Like, if I want you to feel safe telling me these things, um, like I don't want you to feel like you have to just like not invite me to stuff, like, because that really did like hurt my feelings. Like it really did like break my heart a little bit. Whereas if you would have just told me, like, I want you to feel safe telling me, like, if there's something that I say or do, like, let me know so I can like fix it and take care of it. And then we can just like keep rolling, just like keep being friends. Um, if it is something where it's like something they're like, oh, well, we think you're stinky a lot, or like, we don't like what you wore last time you came out. Like, if it's something kind of like dumb, to me, I would still say that's a gift because I'm like, oh, sweet. Like, you got to check in and be like, okay, is that something that I want to change about myself? Like, is that something that I want to care about? Is that something that's like, or if they're like, oh, you know, your husband doesn't work at the same job as our husbands or whatever. Like, if it's something like that, that's when I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is such a gift. Like, because now, like, I can, like, now this is an opportunity for me to really check in with myself. Like, do I want to be friends with these friends? Like, is like for me, not like I don't have to like do I actually want to be their friend? Like, is the thing that they're saying of why they didn't invite me, I get to check in and be like, okay, which way do I want to take this as an opportunity? It's an opportunity to like, again, if it's something that like I did something like actually like genuinely hurt them and wasn't in alignment with who I want to be, then I'm like, yeah, like take care of it. But if it's like something where you're like, what? Like you didn't invite me because I don't wear Prada or something. And then for me personally, like I would be like, oh, thank you so much for telling me that because I had no idea that I was spending so much of my time and energy with people who were clearly like not my people. Like, like I now like this is like thank you so much for telling me that. Like that's really just not who I am. And again, it's still embracing it. So like in that situation, I would still embrace them and be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for telling me that." Like I'm happy that you told me that because like to be honest, like that is really just not who I am. And I'm sorry that if I ever gave you that impression at the beginning of our friendship, I ever gave you that impression that I was the kind of person who cared about that. But to be honest, like that really actually is who I am. Like, and I like I just am not somebody who cares about that kind of stuff. And so like that's just like the reality of who I am. And so like in which case like I totally get it. Like you guys could like I totally understand why you might feel uncomfortable with that and it's all good. So like and then you just kind of like let them do their thing and you go find your people. So again, it's an opportunity. It's still a gift because then you don't have to spend any more of your time or your energy on people who are not your people. Um, but again, if it is something that like actually is something that you like want to say sorry for, like something where, you said something that you didn't really notice or whatever, then it's a gift because then you can apologize. And that's when they start to feel safe with you. They start to love and admire you more because you're someone who can apologize, who will always try to be true to their values. And then you guys will actually like build a friendship and you can just say like next time just tell me like totally just tell me and also like tell me before you go out because that made me sad. So again, there is a time and place. I'm not saying that you have to completely ignore what they did, but that's something after you've done hopeful curiosity and embraced. That's after you've done gift. Then you can do all that, all the shifting, apologizing, like asking what you want for the future, how you want them to tell you that in the future. And then the lift is just that so that like, you always feel seen and heard and safe in our friendship. And like I feel safe in our friendship because like I know that you'll come talk to me. And I just think that this would be like an opportunity for us to just like make our friendship even better. I don't know what their reasoning was. Um, but either way, you're gonna come out of this better, happier, gifted because you're either going to go find your people or you're going to make this friendship even better, even more meaningful, even like deeper and more rich because now you've been able to work through something difficult together. So, anyway, I hope that helps. I'm still so sorry. You can still grieve that you missed out on those memories because that was real. But again, all the other stuff, that's when we're like framework, 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 framework. So, good luck. Tell me how it goes. Hey, I'm Tessa. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a girl who started a journal at one of the lowest points in my life and ended up consistently keeping that journal for now 18 years, which is crazy. And it really was just because of this obsession that I had with trying to figure out how can we actually be happy when life is hard? Because I believe that we were meant to be happy. And so I was just trying to figure life out, trying to figure God out, trying to figure out hardships. And I learned so much. Long story short, people actually send me their journals now, and with all different kinds of hardships, big or small. And I actually walk them through this framework to help get them unstuck from that thing. But also because it is a simple, repeatable framework, it actually gives them what they need so they can build the confidence and they won't be afraid. So they aren't afraid of their hardships anymore. They know exactly what to do and their brain actually starts doing it.